any myths, so to speak, around essential oils that need to be busted like right now? Are there any?
There are a lot, really, unfortunately. You'll find out there a lot of talk about don't put lavender oil to young boys because it will increase their estrogen and they will become more feminine.
Oh,
You can find that anywhere. You can find that all over the internet if you want to look.
interesting.
Yeah,
As a myth.
It's based on something that happened many years ago where a young boy did start exhibiting these things and these changes, and lavender came in, but it wasn't a lavender essential oil. It was products with synthetic lavender and so forth in them, but they latched on to lavender.
Right.
So you hear that, that's an absolute myth. Lavender has been there are more scientific studies on lavender than so many other ingredients anywhere that completely debunk that. But that doesn't mean anything. There's lots of myths there. We came up with fennel yesterday, and there's things out there that talk about fennel will cause epilepsy. Again, there's one study on that. That's complete rubbish. What happened is somebody baked a fennel cake, again, not using fennel essential oil, but using massive amount of fennel, and gave it to somebody who actually was an epileptic, and that person purportedly had an episode. So they take the things and they make it into there. So you'll find there are a number of these things come up every now and again. I always say when it's a slow news day, let's focus on the natural health industry and there are a few people there. So we'll pick on that. So that's one. The third myth is that under no circumstances can you ingest essential oils. Now, that is a topic we would want to explore in more detail later, but suffice to say, many essential oils can be ingested. There are some that can't be, but like everything in the world, there are good and bad and warnings and things you can't do and everything like that. If you try to live solely on vitamin C, you would become ill.
Right.
And someone would say vitamin C is no good for you. Look what happened. Look what happened. So that's one myth. There is just to give you an idea, one thing you can check yourself is there is a worldwide body called GRAS, G-R-A-S, 1S.
Okay, GRAS.
Which is generally regarded as safe.
All right.
And GRAS is a body that examines products that are ingestible that we find in our food as additives and so forth. There are numerous essential oils that have a GRAS certification that means that they are ingestible. And in fact, I can only talk about in the Western countries, peppermint, lang lang, lemon, orange, the list goes on. We're eating every day in all these, they're used as food flavorings everywhere.
Right.
Okay, so that's another myth that you can't, with the caveat that you need to have, we obviously have to have 100% pure therapeutic oils. You can't just ingest those synthetic ones, but the right oil under the right guidance, yes, very, very effective, and they're just like a natural medicine. Rebecca, can you think of any myths, anything you've come across?
The other one is clary sage.
Oh yes, go for it. Tell us all.
Yes, this is an oil. Actually, you might remember the story more better than I do, Mark. But this was an oil that was administered to, is it a rat, a pregnant rat?
Yes.
And
it's an animal test. It's a rat test.
it was an animal test. And
On rats.
and
Animal test on rats. Yes.
yeah, and so it was an experiment on a pregnant rat, and the rat aborted. And so the general assumption is clary sage is so bad for pregnant women that it is really put the fear of God into women about clary sage. Clary sage from, and Mark will share this with me. It's an oil that adapts, and whatever hormone is out of balance, it brings it back into balance. So, you know, I truly feel that, like as Mark suggested, we use our own sense of caution and, you know, take responsibility. But that is certainly one myth to bust. But however, still being pregnant, we cannot take responsibility for another person's child.
Yeah,
that is
so
in utero.
yeah, that's another good one. So people worry about clary sage not just as an oil; they worry about anything that's got clary sage in it.
Yeah,
To that extreme. So, and what Rebeccah said is that clary sage is, like many oils, they're known as an adaptogenic, meaning they adapt. Because of their chemical compound, they're complex, they've got so many, this chemical can do that. So if you have a hormone imbalance, and there's different hormones and everything, clary sage can adapt the right hormone. So that's another myth. I think that we've probably got, we could go on and on and on, but I think the main ones being the lavender and the fennel, and that come up regularly because they're very common oils.
Right.
Certainly the ingestion comes up there a lot, a lot. So they're probably the key ones. They're the key ones. You can't use oils neat on your skin. Well, you can, but again, we can't make general. It's not right to make generalizations because we're all different. You know, you could get 10 people and 9 of them could use it, and one person could have a reaction because they're very sensitive. So it's, oh, they can't be. So we practice. So we teach. Aromatic, just breathing is really, really safe. Topical on the soles of your feet because your feet aren't that sensitive. Use a carrier and apply topically until you find out yourself. You just do those 3 things and you're getting all the amazing benefits of the essential oil. We just done a chakra balance. The oil didn't even touch the body.
Right.
We transmitted it.
Absolutely.
So embrace the essential oils at the lowest level that works for you. Don't start looking at the whole thing that, oh, you can't ingest them. People saying this, just breathe them. Just apply them, hold them over your body. Just diffuse them in the air. Simple things like that.
Fantastic.
That's how we're busting the myths. That's how we have done it for years, is to come at it from a very simple basic, just do the basics.